1. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the podcast, episode 1 of Elevated. I am here today joined by a lot of Vivo members, and yeah, so first off we have Matt, Vivo Celsius here.
What's up?
And we also have Dom, Star Wars, my daddy.
What's up?
And Sloth. I heard that nice little breathe there, Sloth. It's pretty hot. We also have Trey. And Pooter P. Panini, or Vivo Curiosity. So, how's everybody doing today? It's gonna be pretty good.
Pretty good. How much to complain about?
So, what type of games have you guys been playing lately? Like, honestly, there's been a lot of games coming out recently: Call of Duty, Battlefront, Assassin's Creed. What have you guys been playing a lot lately?
Assassin's Creed Origins, honestly.
Oh, I'm playing one of them right now, Battlefront 2.
I heard Assassin's Creed Origins. Fallout 4. I heard Assassin's Creed Origins, like, they actually got it right this time, and it didn't launch with, like, a whole bunch of glitches.
It's a really good game, honestly. If you want to play like a story-based game,
yeah,
with like art.
To be quite honest, though, I mean, a lot of the games this fall have been really spectacular. Not a whole lot of complaints from here.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, well, dude, the sales for these games. Like what? I mean, for the fall, there really haven't been any that were that bad for the fall.
Well, I mean, right now the only bad game would be World War II because how broken it is.
Yeah, true.
There's also been a lot of like uproar over, I know, the giant battle pack, like huge issues going on in Battlefront 2. I mean, and
yeah,
pretty sure it's one of the topics today.
Yeah, so. That's actually our first topic. Battlefront 2. Oh man, they're in a lot of trouble right now. So a few hours before the game actually came out, EA and DICE, they came along and they put out the statement on Twitter saying that they were going to take out the currency that you can pay for to use to pay for the loot crates in Battlefront 2. And the reason why they did this is because the community didn't like the way that it was headed. It was becoming more of a pay-to-win type game. What's your opinion on that, guys?
I mean, I've been playing it since Tuesday is when because I got the deluxe edition, so obviously you get 3 days early. And it's really fun. I mean, it's like way better than the first game monumentally so on like gameplay level, story level. Campaign's really good, ties into the movies nicely. Battle Pack wise, I mean, yeah, I can kind of see where people are coming from when it comes to like how it can be pay to win, definitely. There is kind of an issue there when it comes like to the star card system and stuff, and it takes a long time to actually be able to get them to like a really high level where you can actually do something. And it's really annoying to get like legendaries and stuff. But I mean, when it comes to the game, I've been seeing how it's been getting a lot of bad reviews on Metacritic and stuff, and I don't agree with like supply drop systems in games. They're fun to a degree depending on what they do, but I don't think a game like Battlefront 2 should be solely rated on the supply drop system because a lot of people are just doing that. And I feel like it's kind of cheap because they're not really giving the game air to breathe when it comes to the rest of it. And it's actually a really fun game, just besides that one major flaw. That's just how I see it.
Well, one thing I appreciate from EA and DICE, they're really listening to the community, you know, because back in the beta I heard that no one liked the loot crate system whatsoever. But they're like the reason why they took out the currency is to actually fix like how it's going to be worked and stuff like that. And the stuff that you could get from the loot crates, the pay-to-win stuff, like they're going to implement that in a way that no longer you play, like that's how you earn that type of stuff. That's more powerful. So, I don't know. At least they're listening to the community. That's the biggest thing here.
Yeah.
Definitely. In games like COD,
honestly,
I mean, sorry.
Well, I mean, the game is like, it's already a good game. Like, there's not much wrong with it. People enjoy it, and so the fact that there's this one flaw and that everyone's kind of giving them crap over it is kind of stupid in my opinion because, I mean, if the game is already enjoyable and it's just got one minor inch of bad like will or whatever, and that's making you mad over something so much larger, then honestly I think you're just not very smart at that point because they spent so much time on the game, and just to have currency, like currency to make you a little bit better than everyone else, I mean, it's not that bad if you think about it, because not everyone's gonna have it,
True.
but there are gonna be people that do have it. Okay, well, even if they do have it, they're still beatable. So it's not much of a difference if you think about it.
And also, if you like look at games like World War II that released this fall, like that's a really good game too. But it's kind of annoying when you see games like Battlefront 2 getting so much like shit over battle packs and trooper crates and stuff when World War II is doing the exact same thing. I mean, yeah, you can make the excuse that it's cosmetic items and Battlefront 2 is more like again pay to win, but I
Yeah.
still don't see the excuse in how games like World War II and COD can get away with it and stuff. As much as fun they are to play with friends, it's still the exact same thing to a certain degree.
And I agree with you 100%. But I think like us as a community, we need to come together and realize that video games is a business, and these development companies need to make their money. And their way of making money isn't the same way they made money back in the 80s and 90s with video games. Back then, you paid for the game once, and that's all the money that the company received. But in this day and age, with the internet growing and multiple ways to just make profit, these companies are looking at that and realizing we can always just try to squeeze the extra dollar out of the people who buy our games. And I feel like if consumers were to look at that from a business standpoint, they might appreciate like the loot crate systems, and not just Battlefront 2 or Call of Duty, but any game that has like that type of system, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, like, everyone's getting mad over this whole microtransaction thing, but half the time the microtransactions don't cost much, and the game needs to make money somehow, because if the game, like, the company isn't making money, then they can't put out more things for that game. So they
Yeah.
have to make money in some way to
Right.
make their game better, to make everyone else happier.
And
like-
go
Go ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Plus, like, the DLC for Battlefront 2 is gonna be free, so they also have to make it like a way to still make a little bit of money while they
Yeah.
are releasing DLC. Like,
Exactly. Like people need to understand that you're gonna have to get something. You're gonna have to pay for something, one way or another. It's like you can either look at the bright side of things, glass half full, like hey, look, we're getting free maps and characters and all this cool stuff, which we'd normally be paying for. Like I remember last year when, no, not last year, 2 years ago, when Battlefront 1 came along, everybody was so mad about the season pass system, which is true. It was pretty stupid because like half the game was the season pass, and it was like
Yeah.
really dumb. And this year they're trying to fix that, but then they can't really win because people are getting mad over the fact that we have to pay for something else. I mean, yeah, it's not right, but like you said, Jalen, you can't be in this game day and age without understand that they have to make money too. It's how they make their games.
Exactly. And games nowadays, it takes so many resources and costs so much to make the games. If they were to sell it, just the game alone, and maybe a season pass, they would not make profit. It's just impossible. They need another way to make money and stay in business, essentially. So, I don't know. I'm probably going to pick up Battlefront 2 probably around Christmas time.
same.
I know they're going to, like, it's 100% guaranteed they're going to put that currency back in the game. They just removed it for a couple of weeks just to kind of work out the kinks and fix, like, I guess the exploits with the whole pay-to-win type system. So
Oh yeah, and honestly, their whole pay-to-win system is not even that bad, because like the game is certainly like 100% a really good game to have. It's fun in every way, and the campaign is just gorgeous. So like something so minor that they have to take away, even though they're just trying to help their company out, is not smart. Like if you're getting mad over some microtransactions when the game is already good enough, like you don't even need those microtransactions. So why even bother like to worry about it?
yeah,
And why are you getting mad over it? Because I mean, you
And, like-
bought the $60,
Yeah.
and so just because someone else wants to pay a little bit more than you doesn't mean you need to get mad over it.
And like from my point of view, like I'm playing the game right now as we speak, which is kind of funny. But when it comes to the hero characters, they did some vast improvements. I will give them credit for this. People were complaining because apparently back in, I don't know, no, it wasn't beta, it was early access users. They said to get heroes like Luke and Darth Vader and some of the original characters aren't available like when you first get the game. You have to get them with credits, in the game and stuff. And for my point of view, like I'm playing the game right now as we speak, which is kind of funny. But when it comes to the hero characters, they did some vast improvements. I will give them credit. Rallied as a group, like I think fans should, and dude, they completely delivered. They sent it down 75%, and now it's 15,000 a pop, and you can easily get that within maybe at least maybe 4 hours of playtime, and that's a really, really good deal compared to what it used to be. Like, it shows they're actually listening, and the fact that people, I think, are not really paying attention to the good things, and are just too focused on the fact that, hey, we're doing pay-to-win content. It's just, to me, it's just kind of, I don't know. It kind of shows us as people that, like, we're not always happy with what we get.
Exactly.
I mean, like, I get, it's like, I don't know. It's pretty much all I can say on this topic. But I just think people need to start looking at the bigger picture when it comes to things. And, like, yeah, there's going to be issues. Every game has issues. And, like, especially in this day and age. But I think we just got to, like, rally as a community and fix the issues and, like, help each other instead of fighting the companies who make them when it comes down to it.
My last thing on this topic, you guys can say whatever you want after this. But my last thing is, the consumer has to remember, Battlefront 2 isn't like Call of Duty. Battlefront 2 is for your more casual players. So when you put that into a business standpoint, Battlefront 2 isn't going to make nearly as much money as, let's say, Call of Duty or Battlefield. It's for your casual players. And because of that, they just have to make that profit. And microtransactions is that way of making that profit. So I don't know, man. I appreciate the fact that they're listening to community. I think that's a huge step forward in this business here. But when people saying that they don't want microtransactions and they want them to go away, that's never going to happen, and it's just a sad truth.
Yeah, for sure.
Everybody get on that topic? Oh,
yeah.
Actually, one more thing. There's a lot of people within on PC. They did a lot of testing and stuff, and this is another huge flaw in Battlefront 2. They came to the conclusion that it takes approximately 40 hours of gameplay just to unlock one hero. Now, from the people playing Battlefront 2 right now, what's your opinions on that?
Actually, I think I just played touch base on that a few minutes ago.
Like for me, I bought 3 characters just by playing for 2 hours at most. To be honest, doesn't really take that long.
I mean, it's like any game. Like you look at any games like Overwatch and stuff, and it's the same thing.
Then also if you.
Yeah.
Yeah, then also if you look at it this way, if you complete the campaign, you get 20,000, isn't it, Matt? Or
it depends on the challenges you do. When I beat the campaign, I got around 20,000. I was able to buy Darth Vader and the main character from the game, Iden, for a decent price. And the campaign's worth it. I played through it. People here who are hesitant on playing it, and they're worried if it's not going to be good. As a Star Wars fan myself, I'm a huge one. I think it was really cool. Yeah, there were some flaws, some repetitive missions left here and there and stuff, and the mission structure wasn't the greatest, but when it comes down to the characters and story, I really couldn't have asked for a better campaign than what we got.
I heard the biggest disappointment from the campaign, though, was how it ended. They ended it knowing that they're going to release more campaign missions throughout the Battlefront season. What's your opinion on that? Because honestly, I feel like it came out unfinished, If the game was actually done, they would have released the whole entire campaign, because I heard it was really short. The idea that they're releasing more missions through DLC is kind of pitiful.
Well, we also can forget it's DICE. They're not really known for their campaigns.
Yeah, but honestly, I think it's a good idea. Just it's like a lore, you know what I mean? Or not a lore as much, but it's I find it good. I don't see how and I think the game's kind of finished.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not that many flaws within the game itself besides kind of the credits, and that's pretty much it. I mean, you can't hate upon game, and quote
I
unquote.
think out of all the things people could complain about, I think it's kind of funny actually no one's really said anything about this topic compared to like battle packs and stuff. Because the campaign, okay, so I beat the campaign. I'm guessing maybe it took me 4 hours. It's not a very long campaign. It's dice, like Trey said, and it's bound to be shorter because they're more focused on their multiplayer, which is fine. As long as they build a very good story. But when I finished it, it was a really kind of cool ending they put to it. But it was also kind of a slap in the face, at least for a little bit. Because I assumed what was going to happen is Battlefront 3 was going to come out and fill in the gaps. What happened always like Modern Warfare did. And they had like twist endings at the end and stuff, and it made you want more.
Yeah.
But to finally learn that they're kind of going to be releasing it in sections for free afterwards, to me, it just, I don't know. Out of everything, it feels the sloppiest to me. I like that. I like that we're getting more of it, but I also wish that they're kind of, if the game wasn't ready for launch when it came to that, they should have at least waited another month if they had to. I love games, there's nothing, I love this game a lot, but I would have settled to wait for another month if the campaign had been finished.
Imagine if they would have waited a month, bro. Imagine they would have released it right before or right after Last Jedi. They would have made so much more money. Because Star Wars would have been in everybody's mouth. Yeah.
But I don't want to say this just to, be sure of myself, but the only reason why they probably, released it now instead of then, they have to keep up with the competitor, which is Call of Duty.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And holiday season.
No doubt. Yeah.
Nowadays there's a lot of shooters out there that are really vying for that spot with Call of Duty. Like you got Overwatch, Rainbow.
Even
you have a lot of
2.
shooters out there.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
That was.
Titanfall 2 was really good, but they released it at a really bad time. Like
yeah.
There wasn't really anything else's fault except for that. There's no. I don't know. There's a lot of games out there that are really good, especially that are kind of flying under the radar, and they're starting to catch up. And I think after a while, like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed, these juggernauts that have been around for so long, it's time for a change. I like those games a lot,
yeah.
And I'm glad they reinvented them and they're getting more sequels, but we need something new and fresh that we haven't had, and it feels good to get like Battlefront was my childhood. I loved it on PS2, and it was really fun. And after I found out that pandemic shut down, I think it was due to I think they either went bankrupt or something. I thought we were kind of screwed. I never thought we'd get another one, and to see that they're trying to at least bring the series back, it brings so much nostalgia to me. Yeah, they have a lot of flaws. Are they great games? No. Are they good games? Yeah. They're really fun. They're just fun things to play with friends while you're bored, and if you like Star Wars, you'll love them.
Yeah.
And it's just I don't know. It's a shame that a lot of games nowadays they're kind of in the shadows from Call of Duty. These again juggernauts of the gaming industry. And sports games and all these things that are released yearly with just reskin packages. I love them all, but there comes a point in time where it's you have to kind of look and be like, are we really getting anything different, or is it the same thing?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I really, as much as I love all these AAA titles nowadays, I would love a new IP, something new, something refreshing. But I feel like, I'm the type of guy to play a lot of indie games. I like a lot of indie developers. And one thing that's great about those games, there's no microtransactions. You just pay for the game and that's it. And I feel like if those games were to get more recognition, that would put games like Call of Duty and Battlefield and Assassin's Creed on the run for their money.
Well, Assassin's Creed, it comes to pay-to-win titles. It's not really up there. I'm just trying to think of games I love. Origins is honestly one of my most favorite games of this fall.
Oh.
I thought World War II would beat it. I was actually kind of surprised. They stepped up. I like Syndicate. It wasn't great, but it was an okay Assassin's Creed. But compared to Syndicate, oh my god, it's amazing.
Origins reinvented Assassin's Creed. No, they practically put another 10 years on that franchise now because of that game.
The thing is, though, can they hold it?
Yeah, that's
what always the issue is.
Because they did the same exact thing with Assassin's Creed 3, and then after that, it slowly fell down. So I wonder if the same thing's going to happen with the next Assassin's Creed game. It's just going to slowly fall down. But yeah. So that's pretty much all for Star Wars Battlefront 2. I believe it's going on sale for Black Friday for $39.99. You can get it for $40, brand new. So. Next topic, Xbox One X, obviously the most powerful console ever, and I say that
you're funny.
I say that while looking at my little PS4 Pro now. But that the Xbox One X, I mean, is doing pretty well. It's sold 1,639,000 units compared to the PS4 Pro that's been out for a year now, and it's 6 million units.
Uh, Honestly, my opinion upon the Xbox X, I really, this is like why I like PS4 better. Xbox is kind of pumping out Xboxes kind of left and right.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and PS4 is still doing really good with their PlayStation, so it's like,
Yeah.
I can't really support Xbox on anything right now, besides
Yeah.
their backwards compatibility.
They're just
And
playing
also-
catch up.
PS4 just announced their PS5 as well, so they're definitely still doing good. Well, for like they literally like they have 3 different versions of the PS4,
Yeah.
and they're just now like so Xbox has released what
3.
2 or 3
About-
more versions of another Xbox now,
Xbox One, Xbox One S, and X. Yeah.
and the Scorpio or whatever.
When it comes to
So-
me, when it comes to consoles, it's more the fact I love graphics. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing.
Yeah.
What really buys consoles for me, it's not even my friends getting them, it's the exclusives. Like, have you seen PlayStation's exclusives for upcoming? They're gonna own 2018 by far. Last of Us
Oh,
Part
yeah.
2, Spider-Man PS4, Days Gone,
God of War.
God of War. And then they got Xbox. I mean, it's really like they have cool IPs, but they've been lacking. Halo 5 was really not the greatest thing.
Gears
Crackdown
4.
3's been freaking pushed back again because they're not even close to even finishing it. Apparently, it's been pushed back like how many years now? Like 6 almost. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's just.
And then like PlayStation's also getting one of the god of exclusives, Shadow of the Colossus.
I feel
Yeah.
like Xbox,
Uncharted,
like,
all
they-
of these.
they were the dominant console last generation. I mean, like you gotta remember, they still like their exclusives were decent. They still weren't as good as PlayStation's, but what mainly pulled people towards Xbox was the fact that you had all those timed exclusives on there. Like back then, Call of Duty got map packs first on Xbox. A lot of games were like that, and then when those developers saw PlayStation was bringing in the real money, those developers started giving PlayStation those type of, like, I guess gifts in a certain,
Offers.
yeah. And then
And like the
the
price.
thing that really topped it off with PlayStation was its exclusive, something Xbox just doesn't have.
hmm And like the price of the Xbox One X, like I could buy a gaming PC
Yeah.
for that amount of money, and you could get every single like you can get PSN exclusives and stuff, and like with better graphics cards and engines, and like I mean I'm not gonna diss Xbox. I mean they do a lot of things too. Like in my opinion, console wars are stupid. I mean yeah, I think there's some consoles that are better than others, but when it comes to it, we should all just be like. They're pretty much the same thing, just exclusives. It's pretty much all that changes consoles. And the fact people like argue over what console's better is stupid to me. But when it comes to like the price being $500 at launch, it's like you gotta start asking yourself: is the price worth what's on the? Especially with Xbox One, they have not been doing well when it comes to their games selling
Yeah.
on all, nearly as much as PlayStation.
And I feel
has
like
been.
instead of worrying about hardware, they should be worried about their games. That should be their number one priority right now.
Like I'm not gonna hate on Xbox. I mean, we're obviously playing on PlayStation. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. I mean, I kind of am, but when it comes down to it, it's I don't know. It's again the industry. It's hard to really pinpoint what's wrong with it when it comes down to like their decisions making games, but they really need to stop focusing on making their like consoles more powerful. Like Dom said, there's freaking how many Xbox Ones out there? Like almost 4 or 5 now, something like
Yeah.
that. Different versions of it. And it's like,
Yeah.
when's the next Xbox coming out? In a year or two? Like, you're going to spend $500 on this console they're going to play for a year or two, then pay another $500 for a new one?
Yeah, get
I
the
don't know.
Xbox
Yeah.
2.
To me, it's
bro.
just a waste of cash. Xbox 720.
Yeah, but I mean, how long has this been out for? Like 2 weeks? They're already catching up to the PS4 Pro. And I think that's strictly because of the quality of the games. Only enthusiasts buy this console. You're not going to see the
And
average Joe.
YouTubers.
Yeah.
And people with money.
You're not going to see the average
It's
Joe
like-
buying the Xbox One X. They're happy with their Xbox One or Xbox One S. They're not going to go out and buy this
Yeah,
console.
so what's the point of releasing new ones? Is what I want to think. Want to know.
It's to have that extra
Money.
step up, yeah. To show the public that they are more superior than PlayStation when it comes to quality of games. But my thing is about that, games shouldn't be determined how good they are by the quality, like by graphics and stuff. It's all about the narrative, the story, the soundtrack, what makes a game a game, you know? It shouldn't be determined by the quality of the game. I mean, that's like saying, I don't know, Super Mario Bros. Was an awful game because it wasn't in 4K.
And like, look at older games. Like, this is a really, I'm not gonna say it's outdated. I mean, it kind of is. As an example, Resident Evil 4. It's a full game, wicked long, decent story, and like back then, games didn't need DLC add-on content and like powerful systems to make a compelling story and have fun.
Yeah.
Like, games are games. That's the point of a video game, to escape reality and enjoy yourself for a while. You know, not to like. I mean, yeah, the point is immersion, but when it comes to like the price tags, to me, it just depends. It's like, I want to have fun. I want to worry about the next great thing. Like, if I have a PS4, I'm worried about PS4, like what they're doing. I'm not looking ahead to the PS5.
Yeah.
I want to like.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like games. They're just games. You're supposed to have fun with them.
Yeah.
But Microsoft's all about making that money. And just as you said earlier, Matt, you said you could build a PC. And I feel like a lot of Xbox people don't know this, but I mean, yeah, you can build a PC, but if you're also running Windows, you can play your Xbox games on your PC through the Xbox app on Windows 10. So what's the point in buying? I mean, if you do it on PC, the game's always going to look better. I mean, if you were really into graphics that much to where you want to buy the Xbox One X, you might as well just build a PC. And you'll be saving money down the road. So, I don't know, man. I mean, I can't take it away from them that they're not the most powerful console, because they are as of right now. But I feel like their reasoning for becoming the most powerful console is petty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like another thing that's helping out the sales is PUBG that's coming out for it too.
Yeah.
And like PC ports are okay, but they're not always gonna be great.
Yeah.
Take a look at Ark.
Do you think they're gonna? This is solely off topic, but do you think they're gonna put PUBG on PlayStation, kind of like how they did Rise of the Tomb Raider, that 1 year delay type thing? That's what I'm feeling.
To me, it depends
Probably.
on how
It depends
Sony. It's like, okay, so it takes me back to that issue. It was like around a year ago when mods was going to Fallout 4.
Yeah.
It depends on how well of a Sony needs to get their, like, when it comes, like, I love Sony's stuff, but when it comes to their like decisions, when it comes to like what they want in the console, they really need to start looking to like how people want things.
Yeah.
Like mods, like we were supposed to have all these fun mods, and they didn't. Like they like screwed up with the Microsoft's like bargain to get mods on PS4. We had to wait like 5 months after release of Fallout 4 to get them. And like it's the same thing with PUBG. Like I think if they really want it on their console, they need to snap to it like right now, or else they're gonna be left in the dust. Like you can't just sit there and expect a year to go by and have people want to have PUBG, because it's not going to be that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. PUBG, like, they obviously see the sales and the player count on Fortnite on PS4, and the only thing that they're looking at whenever they see that's money in their eyes. Let's be real. That's the only thing they see. So, if they don't release PUBG on PlayStation, that's going to be the biggest shocker ever, in my opinion, because it's a cash grab.
We're still supposed to get H1Z1. That was like, how many years ago was this promised
that was
to
like
us?
3 years ago, bro.
Oh,
It's
trust
not
me.
here.
We were supposed to get the Forest, and that was like 6 years ago.
DayZ was supposed to, well, that was rumored to come to
No, the
console.
Forest was announced, but
No, DayZ.
Oh,
No, DayZ was
DayZ.
rumored to come to
Yeah,
console.
true.
Well, wasn't DayZ a beta? Like, I don't even think the full game's out yet.
It was.
No,
it's
it's out now.
Oh.
It's been out.
Yeah, but I just honestly I can't see them not releasing PUBG on PlayStation. If they don't, then they're losing out on a lot of money.
I mean, Fortnite's there, but it's a fun game. But I know Red Sloth in here, or as we call him, Little, plays it a lot, and he probably knows a lot more on it than I do and stuff. And a lot of people in here do who play it. But I mean, Fortnite's a good kind of. it's a good placeholder for PUBG, but if they don't come out with PUBG, it's just gonna. I think it's gonna die. Honestly, it's gonna be like, it's like PlanetSide 2. Like PlanetSide 2 is supposed to be their like the next big Battlefront style game.
Yeah.
And that's like pretty much dead now because like they kind of left it out to dry and they didn't do anything else with it and make it interesting. And like if Fortnite, I mean, there's rumors they're supposed to be adding more maps and stuff, which is fine by me, but if they need to add PUBG, if not, Fortnite is just it's gonna be the dominant version of it, and plus I feel like it's not gonna last long enough like PUBG would at all.
Yeah.
I feel like for the next, like probably until April-ish of next year, Fortnite will die out, but summer of 2018 is gonna jump right back up, man, and that's because they're gonna release it for free, and you're gonna have way more people downloading it, way more people playing it. The game's going to last for at least another 2 years, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, totally.
And
like GTA 5, like look at this. It's been out for how many years now? It's freaking been out almost 4 years now, and it's still going strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like the only thing that Epic Games have to do to keep Fortnite relevant is just add more rewards. If you win a game, you get more rewards, stuff like that. They just need to keep it relevant until PUBG caves in and it's like, hey, we got to release it on PlayStation. It's easy money.
Well, I'm pretty sure the guy wants to release it on PlayStation. However, I forgot the guy's name who made it. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he wants it. But he said Sony again. They're really tough to work with when it comes to like making contracts with them and stuff and with their games. Because apparently, I think Sony I want to say they asked like a big chunk of money in return. It's like kind of like outrageous what they want from them.
Yeah.
And like. It's understandable. I mean, if he doesn't do it because of Sony, like I understand it. Like I'm not gonna be mad at him. It's his game. Like I'm not gonna say, oh, your game's awful because you don't want to support Sony. If they're gonna be dicks to you about it, then I understand completely. If you're gonna work with Microsoft, like I wouldn't blame you.
Exactly. Microsoft, they've always been easier to work with. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think it's Nintendo Switch, like PC and Xbox. They're all doing that cross-play thing with Minecraft. And they're all just doing their own thing over there, and like this is the only thing I really hate about Sony. They never want to agree to anything. They're just really hard to work with, and
like there's a lot of weird things. I remember there was a rumor like Sony was like giving up Crash Bandicoot to Xbox. There was a rumor of that. And, like
oh yeah, well that's
I don't
because
know what the hell they're doing.
That's because,
they're kind
Activision owns it now.
See, like I mean. I think exclusives, in my opinion, like I love exclusives, but I think it's kind of stupid to begin with. Like I think everybody should be able to play games together.
Yeah.
We should have Halo. They should have Uncharted and Last of Us, and we should have Gears of War. I mean, it's not going to be like that unless they team together and make a system. But
no.
I think it's if we're not getting anything in return, like Sony, like if they like sold it to Activision or whatever, and we don't get anything in return from Xbox, I think it's a pretty sour deal. I mean, like we're giving up one of our best IPs to this company that we've been rivals with for so long, and like. They're getting nothing out of it. Sony just needs to learn how to do their bargaining skills better. As much as I love their consoles and stuff, they just really need to get some lessons, I guess, into how they're doing and running their businesses, I think.
Yeah, but I think Sony's biggest fear when it comes to doing something like that is how much money they will lose. Because as of right now, they're at the top of the food chain. You can't really beat them. But if they were, and Sony knows this as well, if they were to give some of their rights to other companies, that being Microsoft and Nintendo or whatnot, I mean, you wouldn't be obligated to buy a PlayStation anymore. You can buy whatever you want. Whatever's cheaper, that's what they're going to go with. So, I think that's
true.
Sony's biggest fear, man. They're just going to lose money if that's the case. And once again, they're a business. They're all about making money. They don't care what we think. They just care about themselves.
I mean, there's some developers out there that care. Like Naughty Dog is like one of the best developers on PlayStation. They actually listen to people.
Yeah.
And like Insomniac and Sucker Punch, people who have been here since the beginning, like they get it when it comes to fan support. But like the newer companies and stuff that kind of cave into Sony, it's hard. It's kind of sad because I remember back on the good days of PS2 and PS3, like there was never these issues that happened. It was always just really, easy to work with and stuff. And there wasn't a lot of like competition and worrying about all this other stuff that we don't need to worry about. It's just playing the game, having fun, and just enjoying each other with friends. But now it's all about money.
Exactly.
And it's kind of sad to see that.
if you think about it, this kind of history's kind of repeating itself because back with the Sega Genesis and the NES.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not basically the same thing. Ever mind. I just need to shut up for 5 seconds. Yeah.
Well, it's one of the Sega Genesis and the Atari, I think. They were the rivals, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there we
Back
go.
in the day.
Yeah. And now
I mean, I don't know.
PlayStation...
It may not. I might be wrong. So if people in the comment section look at this video, don't tear us apart about this guy. I didn't play those old consoles.
I read a book about this, and then Sony, and then back then Sony and Nintendo was going to make a monster console with both Sony and Nintendo games.
Yep.
But I forgot which one backed out of it.
It was Sony.
There was rumor
Sony
of
backed
Amazon
out.
making a console.
Sony. I know exactly what you're talking about, Trey. Sony backed out of it, and they went on to make the PlayStation 1. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Alright.
There was rumor of Amazon making their own gaming console. I remember back when that was a thing.
Dude, does anyone else remember the Steam console that came out?
Yeah,
Yeah, the
It
Alienware.
was trash, right?
Yeah.
I think they have a new
'Cause it was
version of it
basically
now.
Steam.
I'm pretty sure, but
Yeah, but it's Alienware. That's the thing.
Well,
I'm not too big on PC, so I don't know much about that.
What would
So I
the,
can't really get. I'm a pro.
should we throw out some name suggestions for the Amazon console? I got
What?
one. You said that Amazon was thinking about making the console, right?
Yeah, it was a few years ago. I remember it's back. I think it was Dishonored 1. I remember whoever made Dishonored 1, not Bethesda, the other smaller company, was bought out by Amazon. I think they were looking to buy more independent studios to make a console out of it. And I don't think ever came of it. I'm pretty sure.
Bro.
I may not be 100% accurate. So my friend told me this a while ago. So if I'm not, then I just don't know what to say about that. But I mean, that's what I heard.
That would actually be kind of cool, because you got to remember, bro, they have Echo or Alexa, whatever it's called. You know how, like, Xbox has Cortana, I think? You could just say Alexa.
Microsoft has Cortana.
You could just say, like, to your Amazon console, Alexa, go to this game. And that'll be, I mean, they have it. They have the technology. They
And
just
Amazon
need the
Prime
hardware.
Video and their own
Yeah.
streaming service.
Actually, that would be really smart. If you pay for Prime, you get to play online, and then you get free shipping, and then also Amazon Prime and all that good stuff, like Prime Video.
Yeah.
All right,
But
Amazon.
there's only one problem.
So my email is zombiekilo. Can't take.
There's only one problem about it, though. How long would it take for like the populace of like Xbox and PlayStation fans just to rip it apart?
Oh yeah.
Oh, not long at all.
Yeah.
It'd be dead within about a week.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. That's like, I mean, Amazon coming out with a console is kind of like Target coming out with a console.
Well, that was a while ago. I think it was scrapped. I don't think they're doing it anymore.
Yeah, but
Pretty
that's
sure.
my point. I just can't see it happening because Amazon, they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a shame
I
because
mean-
we've dug ourselves into this trench of just expecting it's either PlayStation or Xbox. Like back in the day, like there was Atari, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. There were so many different options for like gaming, and now it's kind of sad. It's boiled down to 3 consoles now. It's Xbox One, PS4, and Switch.
Yeah.
And back then, in the
PC.
old days, they had like 5 consoles and PC too. I don't really count PC as a console. I mean, it is a console, but it's more of like it's like its own thing.
Like how I look with PC, it's like PC's like the god. Like no one will ever like diss a PC, but everything else is for take.
Well, you gotta remember, man. Like the reason why there's only 3 main console competitors now is after the crash of video games back in, I believe, the 90s. A lot of those companies went bankrupt. Sega
Yeah,
went
true.
bankrupt. A lot of those.
Because Sega and
companies.
Sonic, didn't they?
Yeah,
yeah.
they still do, but they still make shitty games though.
Atari went bankrupt. All those companies, man, like all those big companies back in the late 80s and 90s, like they were nothing after the video game crash. And honestly, I feel like with this whole microtransaction thing, it's going to happen again. Very soon, it's going to happen again. People, they're just going to stop paying for it because it gets expensive. And that's a no-brainer, but dude, you can easily spend $100 on the game with a season pass, and then through that game's life cycle, spend another $300 to $400 just on microtransactions alone.
And like they pressure you into doing this. Like earlier today, I was playing GTA 5 with my friends, And like, it's just, I was like looking at, it's like, it's ridiculous, the prices. Like, they pressure you into doing this stuff, like, especially kids at a younger age
Yeah.
who don't know, like, what they're doing. Like, not gambling, because I know there's a huge thing. People are saying that supply drops are gambling. I think it's kind of stupid. That's a
that's
different
gonna
topic,
mention
though,
that.
for another moment.
Oh yeah, dude,
But
we can do that
when it
next
comes
week.
to microtransactions, I think it's kind of highway robbery, because like you can earn all that in the game, but they put the prices up in GTA so much to the point where you pretty much are forced to buy the money, and it's like ridiculous. Because I remember the good old days when you wanted to play a game and actually earn what you did, but now you can just easily swipe a credit card if you're rich, and then boom, guess what? You got everything.
Exactly, man. I don't know. It's
Maybe just say one more thing before we move on.
yeah, go on, man.
About like what I'm hoping for Red Dead, since there's no idea what they could do with like shark cards for Red Dead. Hopefully that shit would be gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Actually, never mind. I have bad news about that. They already announced it. They said that Rockstar actually announced this legit news that apparently all their games in the foreseeable future are gonna have microtransactions. They actually fully announced that. That's not a joke.
that proves my point, man. It's never going away. It's here to stay.
I mean, if you guys want to look it up for credibility, I mean, I think it was IGN. It was like somebody. It was some sort of gaming website, GameSpot or something. And they just it could have been GameSpot, and they said that Red Dead's gonna have it in games. Apparently, Rockstar, if they make any more games like GTA, they're gonna have them. And it's sad to see it because like it takes away the whole point of playing with friends on the weekends and stuff. You know, staying up late, grinding out, where you can again easily just swipe a credit card or throw down some bills and buy a PSN card and just get what you want.
Yeah.
Do you guys
like where's the fun in that? Like the whole fun point of it is just to play and grind and joke around, and like that's what makes video games. That's what made my childhood so much fun on PS3 is you actually rewarded yourself by doing this stuff.
Like
exactly, man.
Okay, I don't want to make this sound bad or anything,
if
but like
video games kind of
some of the blame has to go towards like the newer generation of kids. Like they don't want to grind.
Scene.
They don't want to do anything. They just want to get what they want and just be happy with what they got.
Recently, EA shut down Visceral Games,
but also
makers of Dead Space and stuff.
Trey, on like the point of like the transaction
because
thing.
Of that, a lot of single-player devs have come out and been like, "Hey,
some companies, if they don't have that, they will go bankrupt, just like the other ones did, like the old games, because they didn't have that many sales and they didn't have that high of a price, so they didn't have nothing to keep on creating."
But the thing I'm saying about is like I'm talking about like the people that like will fight. Like I'm talking about like the people that overdo it. That like take like an old friend of ours literally paid $100 just to get a gun on Black Ops 3.
No, this is kind of off topic, by the way, Trey. I'm just backing us out for this. Play Galactic Assault. That's just kind of just me telling this thing, you know. Oh, okay.
All right. Well, that was a really interesting Xbox One X topic. Next topic.
You had to add the fucking Nolan.
Next topic. World War II. World War II. It's been out for what, 2 weeks now? And it's
approaching 2 weeks.
Still broken. Opinions on its broken state.
I played the hell out of it for like the first 4 days, and to be quite honest, I love the game. It's the best Call of Duty by far we've had since Black Ops 2, by any means when it comes to gameplay wise. But the fact is that the games, you can't get into a lobby worth shit. The game is glitchy as crap, and like the supply drop system isn't like, I know we were like complaining about how it's pay to win and stuff, but when all they give you is different colored handles for your pistol, it's like what's the point of even trying to make it get anywhere with the multiplayer? Like it's fun and everything, but when they don't reward you, I mean there's weapon skins, but they don't have enough of them. It's mostly just pistol grips you get.
Yeah.
And like. And just the connection issues, and the player base already starting to turn Call of Duty-esque, as everybody knows what that is. You know, it's sad to say, but I don't know. I feel like Call of Duty is one of those games that in the foreseeable future, they're going to run out of luck, and they're going to have to either reboot it from the ground up, or they're going to just have to end it. It's just, it's going to happen.
Well,
I mean, this has probably bought it another good 5 years, but I don't know past that point. You can't really say anything.
You know, the supply drop system in that game, you know why they have all those pistol grips and all the unnecessary stuff, right?
Is it 'cause
to cover up for the new things that are going to be coming out.
Yep. Whenever they start releasing those OP
controller.
weapons, bro, you're not going to be able to get them.
Yeah, true.
Why do you think there are so many damn random terrible ass camos in BO3?
And Infinite Warfare.
Because they were waiting to bring out their
NWR,
weapons.
bro.
That was Infinite Warfare. I'm pretty sure you're talking about.
BO3 had a lot of weird stuff too, but
like to be honest,
that's all they're doing, man.
Oh,
they're trying to lower that
IWs
ratio. They're trying to lower that
was the
earn
biggest
rate.
slap in the face when they released that patch with over like 100 weapon skins.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was just like I love camos, but dude, they screwed over. I'm gonna say it, they screwed over the entire Call of Duty community, and they just still backed them up, which made me laugh.
And the way
a
they
lot of people who
market
are
it,
just
bro,
straight for
is
it.
so twisted. They're like, hey, in this new update, we're gonna be throwing in all this cool stuff, and also 2 new weapons. So your chances of getting those 2 new weapons are 0 to slim.
It's a .0000001.
Yep.
Cash grab, bro. Cash grab.
Another
But
thing
it's
with World
also-
War II, I heard people like were legit in their prestige. Like they lost their ranks
Yeah.
all the way to level 1.
Yep.
They weren't even getting prestiges or anything. It was ridiculous. I mean, it never happened to me, so I can't back people up who actually happened to. I'm sure it did. They would make it up, but I don't know. To me, it's just if your game again, if it's that broken at launch, wait another month. But I mean, I get they have to push the holiday season, but I'd rather have a complete game than a game that's going to be complete and utter just garbage at launch.
Man,
And there's
what was the beta for then? We had a beta. I thought that was going to fix a lot.
The
of
beta
it.
was amazing. Like I was telling my friends this the other day. It's so weird. World War II's beta, I liked it a lot. Like it was my favorite thing. Like this last fall to play.
Yeah.
And like I was so hyped for the game. The game was trash. Battlefront 2's beta, I honestly didn't enjoy it that much. It was really boring to me. I'm loving the game. It's like the complete polar opposite of what they were like kind of going for. And it kind of makes me laugh because like that's what's amazing about like Battlefront stuff and games like this. Like they just come out of nowhere and they just make you have fun. But then games like Call of Duty, like you expect to have fun, but then when it slaps you in the face and reality hits you and you realize, oh man, it's the same thing it's been for the last few years and with more glitches at launch than ever before, then it's just kind of sad to see it happen.
I don't know, man. I feel like... Oh, go on. You're good.
A new implemented thing in World War II recently is that there's no more playing casual COD. If you're a good player, you're just gonna have to sweat 24/7 because they implemented player-based matchmaking. So it indicates though that like I saw it posted by Michael Condrey the other day, is that if you're like top 1,000 on the leaderboards, you will be playing everybody that's above you on the leaderboards.
Yeah.
You'll be playing the top tier people of all. Like there's no more casual Call of Duty. It's all EA Sports fucking tryhard.
And they can't say that they did not try ripping off Destiny with the headquarters. I mean, I know they're trying to try a whole new thing, but honestly, I mean, come on. It's the exact same thing. And they added a few more improvements to Call of Duty and everything, but when it comes to Call of Duty, we don't need something like headquarters. I mean, yeah, it's awesome to do the 1v1 pit, but the point of Call of Duty was an arcade shooter. It's not supposed to be a hub world where you can meet up with players and do all these things, like almost like it's like kind of like RPG style. I mean, I like the headquarters a lot, but that's also the biggest issue at launch. That's the reason why the game was like fried when I go play multiplayer, because people are logging into the headquarters and it was just making your game turn to freaking butter in your system. You couldn't even do anything.
Honestly, bro, I beg to disagree that the headquarters is like the tower from Destiny. You want to know why? Because unlike the tower from Destiny, there's nobody in the headquarters. You're just by yourself. So
true. I will give them credit though. They have more interesting things to do in the headquarters than Destiny. I mean, Destiny 2 tried implementing the soccer mechanic, and I mean it's cool, but like I don't know. It's one of those things. Like I love the headquarters. I mean, I kind of want to see it return, but if they can't get it right the first time, then why even try it again?
Yeah.
But like one of the main things World War II needs to do right now is they need to fix their servers.
Yes.
It's broken. It's dead. And that's my thing about the beta. Like the beta was meant for testing, making sure everything has a smooth launch. But it's like, what did they do after they got all the beta statistics? Did they just throw it away? Like, what was all that for?
That's what makes me laugh about, like, go back to the old topic of the battle packs, and or not battle packs, super crates in Battlefront 2. Everybody was so quick to judge Battlefront 2 for their stuff. At least they had a good launch. I mean, look at World War 2. Yeah, you know what, maybe their supply system was more fair, but that does not excuse the game for being a broken pile of just a mess.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's next gen. You should not be having a game that is half baked at launch. I mean, yeah, Battlefield 4 did it, but I kind of have an excuse for that. It was the beginning of PS4. You can't really hold them to it. I mean, yeah, it was a really, really bad launch and they screwed up. But I mean, there's a whole new software they're working with and hardware. But alas, with World War II, it's Call of Duty, and it's next gen. Like, how can you not have a smooth launch to start off with your game?
Exactly, man. I don't know, but my biggest issue is with Call of Duty World War II as of right now, man. It's the fact that we're being lied to. And I say this because in the beta, I'm going to use Domination as an example in the beta. You would get 50 points a kill in Domination, and then after some constructive criticism, they changed it up to 100 because 50 kills or 50 points a kill just wasn't enough. And then when the full game comes out, it's right back to 50 kills. And that's like they did a lot of stuff like that this year. They changed a lot of stuff like that. And the fact that we're being lied to as a community, it's actually kind of turning me away from Call of Duty.
And the thing that makes me laugh is now it really pisses me off. I mean, I am kind of a COD fan. I mean, Black Ops 2 is my all-time favorite. That's like my favorite Call of Duty. Yeah. Ever since then, I've slowly been kind of reclining as a COD fan. But, I mean, it's kind of funny to see how people reacted. So, like, after Ghost' massive failure as a game, I mean, everybody has their own opinions on it. Like, I know you like it a lot. It's like one of your favorite Call of Duties. I had mixed feelings on it. Yeah. People wanted to change up, so we got exosuits. I mean, they were fun for, like, the first few games. Like, I enjoyed them. And now people want boots on the ground. We go to boots on the ground. You already have people complaining how it's already basic old Call of Duty, nothing new is being implemented. You can't have it both ways. You either want something new with the games, or you want the same old thing. And something like Call of Duty, you can't, like, there's not much else they can do with it besides do that. Like, it's the same. It's an arcade shooter. It's going to be the same thing every year. Most of the time it's the same thing every year. Stories are good, but gameplay-wise it's the same thing. And you can't go into it expecting a full-blown, awesome new game adventure every time you buy it. And I think people need to start like, just, I don't know, realizing that you can't have it both ways when it comes down to it.
Yeah, because that's what happened to Medal of Honor. That's how it died out.
Yeah, Medal of Honor got rigged, dude. I remember playing, I forgot what it was. It was on PS2. And then I played Warfighter.
Was that Warfighter?
No, it wasn't. No, the one I played on PS2 was a good one, but I played Warfighter.
I played Vanguard. Vanguard was good.
Oh, I gotta look this up now. This is gonna bother me.
I thought there was Vanguard. There was a what the heck was it? Spearhead. There was like First Assault was like one of them. I don't know.
Here, I'm gonna figure this out. Frontline. That's it. Frontline. Yeah.
There you go.
I remember playing that on PS2, and I was like, man, this game is awesome. Like, that's when I was in the prime of like really getting into gaming, you know. I was like, dude, this is like the future of everything. And then I played Warfighter, and I was like, what happened?
Because they tried cashing on the Modern Warfare. That's what they tried doing. It's sad to say, but that's what every game studio does nowadays. They see something working out, they try cashing in on it.
Yeah.
And it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And half the time, it's sad to say, it doesn't work. Because you can't... People who go from, like, you know, Modern Warfare 3 to World Warfare, they're expecting Modern Warfare 3, and it's not going to be that. It's a completely different game, different people behind it, you know, complete different, just array of everything. And you, I don't know, we need more original ideas, I think, when it comes, it's almost like Hollywood. Hollywood now, as much as I love superhero stuff, it's superheroes, reboots, and comedies. That's all Hollywood is nowadays, and cheap horror movies.
No doubt.
There's no, like, original movies anymore. Well, I mean, it's off topic, but it's the same thing with video games when it comes down to it.
Well, man,
it's like Hollywood nowadays.
That's just like I said, how I like playing a lot of indie games. That's why I watch a lot of indie films, because if you watch films like Ex Machina or It Comes at Night, like, those are original...
Prisoners with Hugh Jackman. Oh, love that movie.
Exactly. But those are original movies that deserve more feedback, man. But because...
Yeah, it's like Last of Us.
But because Hollywood...
Those are like indie movies.
But because Hollywood and video games are engulfed by these quote-unquote AAA titles, those really good indie movies and games, they just won't get that recognition they deserve. It's not going to happen.
Totally agree.
One of the last things with World War II, a lot of people have been saying the reason why they changed everything back to, like, for say Dom 50 points a kill is because they didn't have our money, and because they didn't have our money, they didn't care about the decisions they made during the beta. But after they made their money with all the sales and stuff, they just didn't care anymore. So, what's your opinion on that? That Sledgehammer didn't care about the beta because they didn't have our money, so they made the changes we wanted. But after they got our money, that's when they just didn't care about changes.
It goes to show, like we've been saying this entire podcast. I mean, money is what makes the games and movies in Hollywood and gaming studios now. It's not the fan support. I mean, yeah, there are companies out there who are still like that, but when it comes down to it, if you don't give them money, then they're just gonna. I'm not gonna say they're gonna dick you over or screw you over because that's not how it works. But they're not gonna give you their full support. Like they want your money, and then when they get that money is when they're gonna listen to you. But before that, they're like, oh, you know what? You're not gonna buy our game. You know, screw you. We're not gonna listen to what your feedback is because if you don't disagree with us, then you're wrong.
Like the only game company that I've actually am a fan of and that actually listens to a community is FromSoft, which is the makers of Dark Souls. They actually keep eye on everything.
Yeah.
Bethesda listens to the community decently.
I was about to say Konami, then I remembered MGS5.
Yeah, NetherRealm. Dom's right. NetherRealm's decent.
Yeah.
As much as I want to
actually, there's a few things with that I can kind of disagree on with the latest fighter pack, but I'm not gonna get into that. That's not part of this conversation. So.
Yeah.
Next week, bro. We'll be talking about the turtles next week. It's gonna be okay. But
I like them. All right. I just don't know if I agree with them where they are. That's all.
I'm fine with that. I'm not like angry.
As much as I would like to say I love Call of Duty World War II, I just can't, man, because it was great in the beta, and I was so happy for it. And after I bought it, and when it came out, I was like, man, I wish I could get a refund because it wasn't worth it. But
I don't know if I go as far as I'd want a refund, but I think they really need to beef it up if they're gonna want to keep the community around.
I mean, I would have bought it eventually, but it would have been nice to buy it if the game wasn't broken. Don't get me wrong, I would have bought it, but...
Well, that's awkward.
And then, yeah, so... Activision also says that Call of Duty World War II sold twice as many copies as Infinite Warfare. So I don't know if that's just the... opening weekend, or if that's, like, overall. But still, World War II is destroying Infinite Warfare, which that wasn't that hard of a task.
Yeah.
Jesus. So, I don't know, man. World War II, it has a lot of potential, and I want it to do good, but it's just not going to happen if they don't listen to fans and hear our constructive criticism.
I mean, I like it. Without the glitches and stuff, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10, but that's not including all the glitches going on. Right now, for me, to be quite honest, it's a 6 out of 10, but once they fix it, I think it'll be a good 8 out of 10. Like, it's probably one of the best Call of Duty games we've had since Black Ops 2.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just they really need to get their shit together and fix it before they're going to lose people.
Exactly, man. They're pulling a freaking Ubisoft on us this year.
Hey, Ubisoft, though, is legit pulling. They're coming back. Ever since Rainbow, The Division, Wildlands, and Origins, they've been coming back.
You sure you're going to put The Division in that list?
Hey,
yeah, I was about to say.
Hey, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I think The Division is way more creative than Destiny. I'm sure people are going to hate me for saying this, but I enjoyed it more than Destiny.
Right.
Just for creativity-wise and gameplay-wise.
True, but there's only one thing, though. Human sponges.
Yeah, well, yeah, obviously. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of games. That's an old topic, but there's a lot of issues with that game. But I mean, when it comes down to it, I much prefer playing Division over Destiny any day. That's just how I see it.
Yeah. All right, we're going on to an hour, so let's finish off these last two topics really quickly. Ladies and gentlemen,
rapid fire round.
Justice League versus Thor Ragnarok. Opinions on both movies if you've seen them.
Right.
I've seen both. I've seen both. So.
I've seen Justice League. It's
no spoilers.
For me, I won't. Yeah, spoiler free. I'm just gonna say, I would give it a 7 out of a 10. It did good, but they rushed some stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the movie was like 2 hours long, bro.
I mean, yeah, it was, but it was like really good.
I've seen both, and I mean, I like DC and Marvel. I mean, honestly, when it comes to movies, I'm more of a Marvel fan, like anybody is usually.
Yeah.
I really I enjoyed, personally, out of the two, I enjoyed Ragnarok more. But I think Justice League is getting way too much hate from the critics. I mean, it's not a great movie by far, by any means, like they did rush it, like you said. And the villain is, oh my god. I'm sorry, Malekith, the Dark Elf from Thor: The Dark World, has more plot than Steppenwolf does.
Yeah, Steppenwolf was the worst villain I've ever seen in a superhero movie. I'm not gonna lie.
But like fun-wise, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think I think we need to stop looking at ever since The Dark Knight. This is my opinion. I love The Dark Knight with Heath Ledger. Like, it's one of my favorite comic book movies. Ever since that, though, I feel like people have looked at comic book movies through an Oscar film perspective now, and it's kind of starting to get on my nerves because they're comic book movies. They're supposed to be fun. They're colorful. They're funny.
Yeah.
You know, they're not supposed to have a great plot and like all this stuff. They're supposed to be fun, like just like blockbusters to go to, eat popcorn, have fun with people. And like Justice League does that. I mean, I really enjoyed all of the performances. I mean, even Ray Fisher as Cyborg. I mean, I don't really know him as an actor, but like when it comes down to it, I'm not a big Cyborg fan. He made me want to become a Cyborg fan. Like I actually liked every single one of them. I felt like they were made for their characters in the film.
I mean,
like
I enjoyed the movie. I just thought it should have been like, 20 minutes longer. It's. I mean, right now it's sitting at a 40% for critics, but an 85% for audience. So,
I would probably put it around 60 to 70%.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest flaws is this pacing and probably the villain. Other than that, though, I think it's really good. Like, if it wasn't for the villain, I think they probably could have competed with the Avengers. That's my opinion. It was a really decent movie. I'm not going to put it up to the Avengers level, because, I mean, it's not, by any means, in my opinion anyways. I know probably Dom has a different opinion on that. But, like, when it comes to... If you look at the trailer, there's a lot of things missing. Like, I know there's a part where it showed Cyborg as a football player before he became Cyborg.
Yeah.
And it showed, like, Ezra Miller's Flash discovering his abilities for the first time. And then there was, like, a scene where, like, the whole speculation over Green Lantern and stuff. And those were all cut from the film at the last moments and stuff. And it was kind of disappointing because I was, like, those were, like, unanswered questions that I really had for the film. But, like you said, it could have used an extra half hour, I think, even if it was a little bit longer. Especially for setting up the entire Justice League in 4 films, which is, in my opinion, still ridiculous. They should have done Marvel's tactic and done solo movies first. But.
Yeah, like, Batman was kind of, like, not for Justice League, but for, like, BVS and, like, Suicide Squad. Batman was kind of just plucked in there, like... some people would call BVS a Batman movie, a Superman movie. It's kind of, like... It would be a Superman movie, you know why? Because, like, Batman was just put in there to be, like, an antagonist, or... Yeah, and his story was rushed. They should have, like... In Justice League, Batman's been doing the job for 20 years. They should have started out with a Batman movie first. Like, after Man of Steel, they should have done a Batman movie. But no,
and I'm
going to
say it. I think Ben Affleck... I still think Ben Affleck, as Bruce Wayne in Batman's portrayal, he's my favorite Batman actor to date. I mean, I love Christian Bale, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to, like, seeing the character come off the comic book pages, he legit just makes me think of Batman all the time.
You know,
and it's kind of sad to see him being plucked into a situation where, like, Ben Affleck doesn't even want to be him anymore. Because that's a huge rumor right now, is that Jake Gyllenhaal might replace him.
Yeah.
Which I really don't want that. If anybody, I really don't want Jake Gyllenhaal. He doesn't look anything like Batman. No, I'm not a Jake Gyllenhaal fan. I mean, I would have preferred, like, Carl Urban or somebody else to play him. I think he would look a lot more.
Hey, we don't need RoboCop playing Batman here, but listen. Watch. Here's 2 movies you need to watch to fall in love with Jake Gyllenhaal. Watch Zodiac. Came out in 2007. Great movie. And also watch Southpaw. If you really want to enjoy him as a actor, watch those 2 movies. He's
Nah, dude, phenomenal. Prince of Persia. What do you mean? Totally not a. It's the best movie. Come on.
Was he the guy?
Come on, you know you like him.
He the guy that was also in John Carter, or is that someone else?
No, that was what the heck's his name? Freaking, I know he did not go anywhere as an actor, but
yeah.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal, just not, in my opinion, as Batman. I think he would be a better something else.
I mean, I can kind of see him being I can see him being more like Robin than Batman, to be honest, because he just doesn't have, like, the bulkness to be a Batman. But
like Christian Bale, I liked him, but he was wicked scrawny to be Batman. Like, he was super skinny.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I don't remember, like after watching Justice League, my opinion on Ben Affleck as Batman has kind of changed. But for me, whenever I think of a Batman movie, I'll always think of Christian Bale, just because he did a really good portrayal of Batman in general. I mean,
yeah.
He got it right down to B.
And I agree with you, but I think a lot of that, in my opinion, is kind of programming people's heads because, like, The Dark Knight it's a really good movie. Like, I've loved it so much, but I think it's also kind of become a pop culture reference and kind of it's like one of those things where people are kind of biased towards, I think, to a point. There's a lot of... The Dark Knight's a really good movie, but if you look back, and I've rewatched it, like, maybe a couple months ago, there are some issues you can kind of note out. Like the whole Joker hospital scene, where he didn't realize it was Joker, he took the mask off, that made me cringe a little bit watching that. But like, I mean, I like Christian Bale, but I feel like he's been kind of like, I don't know, kind of like A-listed as Batman just due to the fact of The Dark Knight's success, and I really liked it as a movie again. But there's a point where you have to kind of wonder, like, who really, in my opinion, looks the part and plays the part right off the comic pages. And Ben Affleck to me is that person.
I
and
have to agree with you there. I do. I feel
sad, it's kind of sad to see him be the way he is right now.
I feel as if the Dark Knight trilogy, the reason why it was praised so much was for the story itself. It wasn't really for Batman, although Batman was the main character. But as for BVS and Justice League, the thing praised
Ben Affleck's spectacular.
Is Batman. It's not the story, it's Batman. Batman is literally, besides Wonder Woman, Batman is the movie. He's the one thing you want to see. And I think
people kind of hate Ben Affleck too for the Daredevil. I mean, like, yeah, Daredevil's a really bad movie. The Netflix show has completely redeemed it, which is a good thing. But like, you also can't hold it against him for being like, it wasn't his fault that it was a really bad movie. It was the director's fault.
Yeah.
You know, he was just kind of placed in the, like, I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck even came out and said the reason why he did Daredevil is he said he'd never be able to play the role of Batman. He thought, and now that he's been offered the chance, it's a shame to see like the DC universe going by the wayside because people are just too lazy to make a good script, and it's kind of sad. Because, like, honestly, all the actors, like Henry Cavill, Ezra Miller, Gal Gadot, and, like, all of them, they fit the characters perfectly, and I really don't want to see a reboot already happen. Because knowing a reboot, they'd have to recast completely, and I really like all of them in their roles.
Yeah. I mean, I heard what they might do. They might bring in the Flashpoint storyline and mix that up with everything. And that will justify why Ben Affleck left as Batman. So, would you accept that?
Yeah, but it's kind of... I mean, I don't know. To me, Flashpoint's a massive storyline. It's pretty much the Killing Joke of the Flash comics. It's like the one biggest known comic storyline out there for Flash. He's not really well known. Well, he's well known, but when it comes to comic-wise, he's not. And I feel like they're kind of... DC, in my opinion, they gotta, of course, make better filmmaking, but they're also pumping out all of their best stories right off the bat, and they're gonna be like left without anything at the end. Like, they're gonna just be like, look at Marvel for like, I mean, yeah, the Marvel Phase 1 was kind of boring to a point, like with Captain America: First Avenger and Thor and stuff. But the reason why is because they were saving all their best stuff for like Infinity War, Winter Soldier, like all these awesome Marvel movies. Because they knew what they were doing. They knew that they were going to have to put these out eventually and build the hype up. And DC's just kind of... They have the hype, but they're kind of killing the hype at the same time by pumping out the best storylines right off the bat. Because after Flashpoint's done, it's done. You're not getting another Flashpoint.
Yeah.
Because it only happens once. And, like, I love freaking... what's his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan as, like, you know, Negan and everybody. He's a good actor. And he played Bruce's father. And seeing him be the Flashpoint Batman would be awesome. But... I don't want it to be rushed. I want it to take its time and be a good movie. I don't want them to hit the reset button, is what I'm trying to say, too early. Because there's still hope. Like, after just seeing Justice League, it's a step in the right direction, to me.
Yeah.
You know, they're not there yet, but they're getting closer to being there, if that makes any sense.
One last thing on Justice League and Thor. I know we really haven't talked about Thor, but Justice League made $96 million, and this is just in the U.S. alone. 96 million box office weekend. As for Thor, Ragnarok made 122 million opening weekend. Coming from a movie standpoint, especially a superhero movie with all these characters, don't you think that's a bit underwhelming?
Yeah, it's definitely underwhelming. I mean, I enjoyed both of them. Thor Ragnarok I did enjoy more because, I mean, again, Marvel has a much bigger stepping stone and like a step forward than DC has at this moment.
Yeah.
In time and stuff, and like the whole planet. Like, I feel like, this is my opinion, I love Thor Ragnarok. It's hilarious. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I feel like though it wouldn't have been praised as much if it wasn't for the Hulk storyline. I feel like that's what really made people praise it a lot.
Exactly.
Was for like, the Gladiator and stuff. Like, I feel like it's been kind of not whitewashed. Jeez, that's the wrong word. It's been kind of like, I don't know. It's been kind of like put into this little circuit of like, I feel like a Thor movie shouldn't have to rely on another superhero to make it a Thor movie. That's what I'm trying to say.
But also,
Hulk
don't kind of forget. Go ahead, Dom.
Oh, I was just saying, like, Hulk was kind of thrown in there, just like the other two Thor movies were like they didn't do as good as like Iron Man did or
No.
Captain America. So they just threw in Hulk because they wanted Thor to do good. But they need to prove that if they can make a good Thor movie, they don't need Hulk in his movies. Hulk can
I don't think they threw Hulk in. I think that's kind of a wrong term there. I think it felt like a good place to put his storyline in, but I feel like what I'm trying to say is I feel like it kind of was more of like, if you look at a lot of the merchandise for it, when it comes to like collectible action figures and like posters and all this stuff and like everything for it, he was kind of like the mascot for the movie. And I mean, like, I think it was a really good place to put that storyline into, because they couldn't really do like a solo Hulk movie after Edward Norton's, because that was just a disappointment.
Yeah.
And like, if they're gonna do it, now's the time for anything. But I don't think they needed to rely on him so much for like. I feel like it should have been more of like a surprise. Like that's what Justice League screwed up with. Like Superman, everybody's like, oh, it's a spoiler, he's coming back, and it's not. He's on the poster, and it's not a spoiler. And I mean, I know I said no spoilers, but if you look everywhere on the merchandise, he's there. It's like obvious it's happening, just like the Hulk thing.
After watching,
but like,
go on.
Okay, but like, let's not also forget. I've talked to a lot of people that have seen Thor Ragnarok and everything. The most memorable character was a side character, and I forgot his name.
Korg.
There you go.
Oh, he was great. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
No, the funny part was the director of the movie that voiced him.
Oh, that's great. But like, yeah, that's basically what I just wanted to say. Was that it was also a side character that also kind of carried it too, a little bit.
I mean, I liked it a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It's probably a 9 out of 10 for me. It's better than Justice League, I think, filmmaking level and fun level. But I felt they could have done a little bit more with Thor instead of just focusing a little bit on Hulk. That's about it for me, though, when it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, my final thing on both movies, if you want to go see something this holiday, whether it be Thanksgiving or Christmas, just chill with the family. Don't discriminate against one of the movies just because of the reviews for it. Just go see both of them, man. They were both enjoyable, and that's all that matters. They're not a waste of money.
And just like, it's like, it doesn't deserve, it's getting a lot of hate from people.
Yeah.
And people need to stop looking at like Oscar-worthy plots and stuff. It's not good. It's a superhero movie, for crying out loud. Like Avengers, there's a lot of flaws with Avengers. I'm gonna say, like, I love Avengers, but there's a lot of flaws, and it gets praised. It's like one of the best Marvel movies of all time.
Yeah.
And like, people like when it comes to Marvel, I think a lot of people I love Marvel as a movie, but a lot of people are biased towards it also because like everything they've done with the series, and it's not a bad thing because there's a lot of good things they did. But there's also a lot of mistakes, like a lot of continuity issues with the series that people haven't kind of noted. Exactly. And it kind of makes me sad to see DC go out on the landslide just because people are kind of like dissing it due to the fact that Marvel, they say they're copying Marvel. It's like, but what do you want them to do? It's the same thing. If they're superheroes,
Yeah. Well, we're pushing on to about an hour and 20, so you guys, we're good on that? You guys want to move on to the last topic?
Oh, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
So, overall, what we're all just saying right now is just go see both movies. They're both good. Last topic. All the Money in the World. It's a movie about, the richest guy ever, practically, that lived in the 1920s. They are removing Kevin Spacey from the movie, and the movie actually comes out in approximately 33 days, and they have to reshoot all of Kevin Spacey's roles in, I believe, 10 days, and the reshoots will cost $10 million. You guys know what happened with Kevin Spacey, right? All that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is going to set a pretty good precedent for movie companies in the future when it comes to like allegations like this and their actors?
Well, here's one thing about the allegations though. Kevin Spacey wasn't I wouldn't say wasn't the first, wasn't the last. There's been more recent, but like it's kind of like the timing of it was kind of strange about it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm just saying it's just out of nowhere.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think they need to do something about this. Like, I mean, obviously, I don't know if it's been proven yet if he's done it or not. If he has, then that's awful. If he hasn't, and then you should be false accusations. But when it comes down to it, like, we obviously need to put a clamp down on, like, this happening, because like, just because they're movie stars and, like, rich people, they shouldn't be, like, getting away with this stuff. It's still illegal. It's still awful things.
Exactly.
And it needs to be proven a lesson. But I think reshooting someone's scenes after the movie's been filmed,
it was a month away.
I think it's a little bit over exaggeration. I think it could have been his last movie. Like, they could have said that, hey, if this happens, then I'm sorry, we're not going to put you up for another film. But you've already filmed the film.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of reshooting the scenes with another actor? I mean, yeah, he was a scumbag if he did this, and it's deservable. He doesn't deserve his money and stuff. But I think wasting more money, like, it's kind of ironic because they're wasting, like, how much did you say, $10,000? I think.
$10 million.
$10 million. They're wasting it on Kevin Spacey, who was allegedly the rapist. Why would you want to waste $10 million on a guy that did this? Instead of saving your money and just letting the movie come out and just that's it.
Well, the thing is, with all the money in the world, because Ridley Scott, he's directing it, and I love a lot of Ridley Scott
movies. Not Aliens, Alien.
I loved and Covenant, man.
Covenant.
As much as people didn't like Covenant, I really enjoyed it. But
I liked it.
What was I getting at?
Ridley Scott's directing it.
Wait, what?
You said Ridley Scott's directing all the money in the world.
Yeah, but I forgot what I was getting to. I don't know. Oh yeah, with all this news about them replacing Kevin Spacey, and we know that they're ditching out $10 million to reshoot these scenes, but with all the publicity this is getting, don't you think that they're going to make that $10 million back in the box office opening weekend possibly?
Maybe.
It all depends. It's one of those movies though. It's like, I don't know. I haven't. It's kind of sad. I haven't heard anything about the movie until this happened. So it's like, it's one of those indie movies that, like, I don't know. It's one of those movies that kind of flies under the radar, and it's either going to be good or bad. And I think I don't think it's necessarily going to boost the publicity of it. I think it's just kind of a topic. Like, I don't think you're going to see teenagers and going out and be like, oh, I want to see all the money in the world, because guess what? They had to, take Kevin Spacey out of it. Like, no, they're going to want to go see Justice League and, Black Panther and stuff like that. They're not going to go see that type of movie. And I don't think it's really going to change the publicity. I just think it's going to show Hollywood's stance on maybe rape allegations. And, like, I don't know. It's a really... These topics you can't take lightly. Like, if there's people out there, especially people who watch this, and anything's like ever happened to you like this in your life, then it's really one of those topics that's hard to touch on because you don't want to be insensitive to it. Because some things can sound insensitive when you're not trying to be, Like, but also, again, you can't just let this continue. I mean, it's I don't know. It's a really weird topic.
In the last,
let's not. Can I?
Yeah.
Go ahead and go, Jalen. Okay. Like, let's not forget. And again, I'm not saying he didn't do it or anything, but like, this could ruin his career. And he was a Academy
Award winner.
Yes, exactly. He made a lot of good movies, but why would he wait until now to actually do something and fuck up on something?
If you're he didn't do it. Somebody else came out and said that he did it, and like. Especially if you did it and you got away with it, like, why would you say anything about it in the first place? Because you know it's going to ruin your career.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, after the allegations came out, Netflix, I believe House of Cards, like the sixth season was going to be the last season anyway. Mm-hmm. But they kind of restated that it would be because of Kevin Spacey. And then also, I've been hearing a lot of people saying that they're not going to watch any more, like, things with Kevin Spacey, and that really bums me down because if you've seen Baby Driver, you know that movie was amazing. And
Kevin
Spacey, he honestly, as a supporting actor, kind of made that movie, and that movie wouldn't have been the same without him. So look
at Horrible Bosses.
I think
people
it's
out there, I don't know. It's hard. I feel like the whole allegations thing. Like, I remember the guy saying about it, I think he said he was drunk or whatever, and, like, tried, raping him or something like that. Or molesting him, I guess. It's more like, he didn't actually do it, I don't think. But, like, I feel like, in my way, I feel like he did it, because, like, when he said, if I did this, I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was doing, like, in my opinion, if you didn't do it, you'd be like, okay, this is obviously false, I never did this to anybody. But if you have to question yourself about it, then... There's something there. You shouldn't be questioning yourself, did I rape this person? I mean, it's just To me, it's just kind of
but,
ridiculous.
Like, if he's like shit-faced drunk, you wouldn't remember anything after it.
But
to be
still,
honest.
I mean, if you're a good person, you wouldn't be raping somebody if you're drunk. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying
touchy
that.
subject, and we're not going to get too in depth into it. But
yeah, because I mean, I don't want to. Somebody again out there is watching this, and it's happened to them in the past, and I don't want to be a complete dick face and be insensitive about it because I know it's a really rough subject.
Yeah.
Personally, though, and this is going to be my last thing on it, I think the studio's decisions on pulling the plug with Kevin Spacey in this film was a pretty good idea. Whether he did what he was accused of or not, and only time will tell if he is telling the truth or if he is actually guilty. So
I mean, I don't know. It comes. I don't know if they should have cut him from the movie. I think they should have just let the movie play out. Then the next part, like if he's filming anything else, then cut him out of those. But if the movie's already finished, I mean, like, what's the point of cutting somebody out?
Yeah.
That's just how I see it. I mean, yeah, they can just cancel the movie or just like like say, oh, it's gonna be delayed a year because of this issue going on.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, it's the most controversial subject, obviously, of the night we've had in the podcast, and it's like you said, you don't want to get too far into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually going to be the end of the podcast because Matt has to go here and watch Walking Dead in about 18 minutes. Matt, do you have any social medias you would like to shout out?
Social medias? No, I don't really do a whole lot of social media.
No MySpace,
to be quite honest with you.
What about you, Dom?
Wait, hang on. Let me bring up my Instagram.
What about you, Dom?
MySpace. I'm just glad to be part of the Evo team.
I got this.
Yeah, same.
Dom, what's your MySpace, bro? Shout it out.
No, I'm just showing you on my Snapchat if they want to add me.
Go for it.
Yeah, I need your credit card number, address, social security number.
Dom, you don't even ever check your Snapchat.
Just give me your
Oh yeah.
Whoever's
just add
watching
me at
this.
Star 197 Wars.
Expect to see a lot of Gotham.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
True.
Follow me on Instagram at FFAK_dank souls.
Thanks.
Oh god.
What about you?
Man, if I couldn't just kill myself anymore.
Social media,
Man.
you want to shout out?
Well, we all regret what we do when we're young, am I right?
Yeah, I know, right?
What about you, Sloth? Any social medias you want to shout out before we end this?
No.
Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, we all appreciate you for watching our first podcast. We don't know if we're going to do this like a weekly or monthly thing or anything like that. What would you guys think about weekly or monthly? Like,
I'm up for it. I'm always game for podcasts. Just gotta make sure I have time for them, that's all.
I actually enjoyed this.
Yeah. This was pretty good.
I mean, I'm new to the whole like YouTube channel thing.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I've done a few. I think I have my own channel on YouTube, but a lot of the videos are just kind of random videos and moments. I really don't do a whole lot of editing with them. But doing like an actual podcast and being part of something like this, it's just cool. Because I mean, I watch a lot of YouTubers. Like, I don't know if anybody knows here Mr. Matty Plays. He has a lot of Fallout, Star Wars. He's a decent sized YouTuber, anyways. He has a lot of podcasts, and it's kind of cool because I like talking and debating about subjects. It's just an interesting thing to do.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably come up with a schedule or something, and we'll get that together, and we'll be doing some more podcasts hopefully in the future.
I'm game.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy this, please be sure to leave a like and share the podcast, and we highly appreciate all you guys for watching the video. Last words, guys.
See you guys next time.
DC
see you later.
Okay, yeah.
Drugs. No,
Punks.
I was about to say drugs, not hugs, but it's supposed to be the other way around. Hugs, not drugs.
Wow, Deadpool. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Drugs, not hugs. See you guys later.